Welcome to the Path of Least Resistance, Episode 10. In this, we're going to go through the weekly Nightmare Portal, the 5.5 star, for the week of August 12th, 2024. This is going to be Galio. His powers are Sovereign's Domination, which is Viego's power, round start. The foe summons an ephemeral copy of the player's strongest follower that died last round. Inevitability, round start, grant the foe's units everywhere +1/+1. And Deadly, that just gives it the double stats and double damage. On skill usage, I'm gonna try Jhin here. Sounds like fun. You will be using Curator's Gatekeeper, Luden's Tempest, and Riptide Battery. The Curator's Gatekeeper will proc the Riptide Battery, which means we won't have to save any damage before we play him in order to get his Plunder effect. And that'll get him close to level, give him a lot of stuns. The stuns should help dealing with the inevitability, and if we don't play too many units, we don't have to worry about Sovereign's Domination. Stunners are typically just good, so I think we have a good chance of this working. Here we're gonna probably want to find something that gives us mana, but failing that, Elemental Winds sounds pretty good. That'll make our free, I think it's Captive Audience, do more damage. Alright, first fight is Reckless Trifarian. Our damage units won't be able to block. And we're going to get Jhin to start with no matter what. Yeah, Captive Audience is the power that's done. So basically we're going to control the board until we have the opportunity to just take over. Play some Crackshot Corsairs here. He doesn't have anything that can block, so we just get a nice attack here. With the Elemental Winds, we got that 3 extra damage. That's or 2 extra damage on each Crackshot Corsair attack. Now, one of the downsides here is we're not going to be able to do any stuns until next round, so we're going to want to use Stagehand here to stop this Legion rear guard.
Embrace your fate as I have mine.
He gives us the opportunity to end the round, so we'll take it. I think he didn't want to attack it to the Stagehand. Also gets the Stagehand for free, which is a little bit unfortunate. Here we're going to drop Jhin. Question is, will we make enough Captive Audiences to fill our hand? And I don't believe we will. Jhin will drop doing 3 damage to the enemy Nexus, but more importantly, he'll get some Cannon Barrages. We'll get 4 of those here, which will put a Captive Audience into our hand. Should also delete most of his board, especially with the Elemental Winds power. If we attack, we win, as long as we can get through, so I think that's probably what we're going to do here. Only has 1 blocker. Jhin levels. We could have leveled him ahead of time if we wanted.
Right on.
And this is basically how we expect the rounds to go. Giving Jhin Luden's Tempest will also increase our damage from things like Crackshot Corsair and Captive Audience by 1. That might not be necessarily the best thing. If you have 2 Riptide Batteries, you might consider doing that instead. Here we're going to take Spell Thief because it costs 1 and it has Hextech Fabricator 2. And for our Sport Champ, we're not going to want to waste rerolls here, but we can take something that's a little bit inexpensive. Could take Kane with Power Rift. It's going to be discounted, but I think I'm going to want to take Teemo here. Our poison darts will do 3, and Puffcap Pup is free. Not sure which direction I want to go. Champion item chest is nice, but shop is also nice. I think kindly Tavernkeeper is going to be a little easier than Tiana Crown Guard, and I still want to get a little bit more mana. So let's check that shop. Maybe we can get mana flow there. This is a fine hand. Could flip Teemo if we wanted. Try to get to like a Crackshot Corsair instead. But yeah, overall, we have our champion, we have Manisoul Student, we have Stage Hand. This will give us our protection for next round. We'll start by dropping Crackshot Corsair. We have +1 mana from the kindly Tavernkeeper's power, which is all players start with a mana gem. So that'll scale up really quickly. This will let us play Boom Crew Rookie if we want. I think we're going to take the stun on the Bull Elnuk instead. That way we can take an attack with the Crackshot Corsair without losing her. If we attack here, we're going to take 2 damage from the Bone Scryers. I think that's fine. Gives us 1 skill usage, which will go into Jhin's level up. We're going to play Jhin next round. Ideally, we're going to create 2 stuns out of it. If we don't, we're going to take a little bit extra damage. And actually, I'm thinking about it. It might be more worthwhile to play this Yone here, which guarantees us the 2 stuns. And we prevent this overwhelm damage. We might take, I don't know, 3 or 6 damage here. Depends on what else he plays. They're just going to pass and let this attack happen. We're going to lose Crackshot Corsair, that's fine. We're going to stun the Poro, and we take 4 damage. 1 from the Bone Scryer's ability. Bone Scryer is going to be basically impossible to remove with this regeneration. And we're going to play Teemo down just to have him for next round. He should be at, I think, 7 mana. So I'll start by playing Manisoul Student. His effect will go off with Jhin. I think Tavernkeeper did play Scarmother Verna. It's already a 14/21 with Overwhelm. There are 3 large Overwhelm units on the board. We're going to need to have a way to take care of those, or we're going to lose. Captive Audiences, of course, allow us to stun one. And it's just going to be a matter of how many of those we need to save going into next round, because his next attack is going to be what determines if we win or lose this game right now. We basically do have to attack with Jhin here. He has 9 attack and quick attack, and his attack will do 7 to the enemy nexus, which we need to kill the enemy nexus. He's starting to get very powerful, although he's almost out of cards. So as long as we have good control here, we should be okay. Like, for example, we could stun or kill this Avarosan Outriders. And that would be pretty good. I think it's going to do 7 damage to anything that's stunned. So stunning is a little more damage, but because they all have regeneration, we can't just assume they're going to die, unfortunately. The Teemo has Bonded Bucklers, so we get Elusive on Jhin, and this is maybe enough damage to win. So I thought a lot about nothing. Anyway, we make it through. But those are the kind of decisions you have to make. If I had 1 less damage there, I would have needed a plan to make it through to the next round. And that would have been either through killing things in the previous round or stunning them in the next round. And I think I would have landed on stunning. We're going to take Aloof Travelers here just because it costs less than Spotted Toad, basically. Just taking the cheapest cost card. And we're going into the shop. Like I said, we're hoping that the power, Spell Slinger, I don't think really benefits us too much here. It'll hit Poison Dart, Spell Thief, and Mystic Shot. Our captive audiences are free already from Jhin's 3-star power. Could re-roll trying to get mana. I don't think that's necessarily good usage when Spellslinger is a decent card or decent power, and we have a high chance of getting something worse. We're forced to go through the Abyssal Eye here. His power is the foes allies have next to his strength for all 1. So we're going to keep the Mana Soul Student in hand. He is one of our win conditions. With the Elemental Winds combined with the Luden's Tempest off of Jhin, Magic Embers do a lot of damage. He has Staunch Defender, so he starts with an Abyssal Eye in hand, or on the board rather. That kind of sucks. I'm going to play Puffcap Pup, because he's free. We're going to play Teemo. And here we have the option to remove Shell Shocker. We can't remove Abyssal Eye, which is a little bit unfortunate, because I do want to get an attack in here. He plays another Shell Shocker. So he's got a lot on his board to start with, and that sucks. We're going to use Teemo to block the Abyssal Eye next round. We're looking at taking 6 here. I'm not sure there's anything we can do about it either. Alright. They played Double Trouble and got... What is his power? 11 more damage. And we have no real way of dealing with that. So we're just gonna pretend that it didn't happen. Then we drop our Mana Soul Student, we're gonna block 6 damage and take 19. We could block with the Mana Soul Student, but like I said, it's our win condition, so it's not gonna help. This is one of the problems with Jhin, not versus like Yasuo. You don't have as much initial stun, and this guy has created an extremely wide board. We're gonna drop Jhin here, and hopefully this will give us enough captive audiences to survive the next round. Need to attack with Jhin here to do 5 damage to each of our stunned enemies. This will cost us a captive audience. In order to keep him alive, because he has bigger blockers than we have. But this will get rid of at least one of his units. I don't know. I don't know if that was necessarily correct, but I think it's good enough. Here, if he attacks open, we're dead. And we're hoping that doesn't happen. If not, we have Yasuo in hand. To stun his 2 highest attackers. We could also stun the Legion Saboteur instead of Ruined Rex. Ruined Rex is stronger, but if we drop the Legion Saboteur, we are not forced to take 2 damage there. But I think it's unclear what the best solution is. I'm gonna drop Legion Saboteur.
We must all play our part.
I know what I'm saying, drop the stun. Alright, he plays another Abyssal Eye. We can't do anything about that. We do have a Thermogenic Beam in hand. That can do 2 damage. Want to use it next round to heal up a little though. We'll drop Teemo as a blocker. He does play You've Been Warned on Jhin, which means that we're going to have to spend a Captive Audience to keep him alive, most likely.
Sandal Scouts are never afraid.
Yeah, but we don't take any damage here, which is great. We create an extra Captive Audience in hand. Jin's leveled up. I think we win as soon as we attack next round. I don't believe there's anything we're super worried about anymore. I thought that was enough to kill him. Well, whatever. Nothing we're super worried about anymore. As soon as we attack, we should win the game. We also have our Thermogenic Beam for 7, which we'll use, and removing the Crusty Clodger, and healing ourselves for 7. If he does have like a 1 damage ping on Jhin, I think we might have been in trouble there. I wasn't expecting anything like that. Which may have been a mistake to not expect it, but I don't know. Take a nice full attack here, because it doesn't matter what happens, we're going to win. We would have had some options if he was still alive to like do stuns here. Didn't need to. Not quite as strong as we want to be right now. Having that 1 round delay without having mana flow is hurting us. We're going to take Voidling's Shell on Stagehand. Timewinder is not a bad option either. It would cost us 0. Usually Timewinder will cost us 0 and it'll do 3 or 4 damage depending on if Jin's on board. Stagehand's extra stun though, I think. That's going to be better. Taking this shop. We again don't find anything that gives us mana. And we're going into Ornn. Ornn is very fast. We could heal at this healer. That's not a bad option, but I'm going to get rid of Aloof Travelers. I think it's our worst card in the deck right now. So Ornn starts with basically a full board. They reforge to infinite power. They're impossible to remove. And our goal is just going to be survive round 2. If we survive round 2, Jhin should pull up enough stunning pressure to make it through. We do draw Jhin, which was not certain at first. We'll drop Crackshot Corsair. Hit attack with her. She'll die if we do that though. So maybe a better option to have played that round was Avaros and Marksman. His power wouldn't have done anything, but having played him would get 1 proc to Jin's level up. As you can see, we have done absolutely nothing yet. We have 1 unit on board, and he has about, I don't know, 30 power. He's about 30 power on board, and it's round 2. If he opened attacked, we'd already be in trouble. They're only going to get stronger because they reforge for free. Fortunately, he doesn't spread his time and dedications. He filters them in directly to like 1 unit, so it makes 1 very strong unit, but that's better for us than the alternative.
Embrace your fate as I have mine.
We play Stagehand. We were always planning on playing Stagehand here. And we drop a Puffcap Pup.
This is my only chance.
We're gonna take blocks. Kinda doesn't matter what we block, so we're just going for the highest damage. Take 13, that'll put us down to 14 hit points. Next time we get hit, we're gonna lose the game. And like I said, his units are gonna be basically impossible to remove at this point. They were impossible to remove from the start. but we knew that going in. We drop Jhin, trying to get more captive audience, so that we have some stuns, so we can go into next round. Does use Fish Fight. I don't think we have a response to that, so we're just going to lose Jhin here. We do have this Poison Dart. We can remove one of his units and draw a champion. We drew the wrong champion, so we're not having a good time. Next round he's going to drop Ornn. We're going to stun Ornn with the Stage Hand. Hopefully that'll give us a second captive audience, which we'll be able to use to stay alive. If Ornn ever gets to attack, we lose the game. So as I said, we'll stun Ornn here. He can currently do more than enough damage to beat us. But we do have 2 captive audiences in hand. I'm not going to deal with his larger one. I'm going to start reducing the hit points on the lower one, and then maybe we'll have the opportunity to remove it at a later time. If we don't draw Jhin, we have no shot of winning. We're going to play Avarice and Marksman and remove the Weaponsmith Apprentice. If he ever open attacks, we're also dead, so that's something we have to worry about. If we use Spell Thief, I think we're going to get time and dedication. Okay, unfortunately, we do get a Mana Soul student and not Jhin, which we can play, but it's not going to change our lives. We'll do 3 damage into the Weaponsmith Apprentice. That'll get us another captive audience. He did play Rot Colossus, which is an overwhelm unit. And he uses Ornn's Bellows Breath, which is going to kill all but one of our units here. Can use Spell Thief. I mean, it's a thing we can do. We'll take his Bellows Breath. I don't think we're ever going to use it. I think we lose.
An iron will must be forged.
Him having double Fish Fight and removing Jhin got rid of a lot of our ability to counterplay. At the start of next round, we do need to stun Ornn before he attacks. However, we need to stun everything or we lose. We don't draw Jhin here. Or Yone is actually maybe a potential way to stay alive. Does have another Rock Colossus in hand.
Await my instructions.
I think we just let this happen. Alright, so we have to stun the Rock Colossus or we lose. We have to block everything or we lose. We do get another captive audience, which would have been nice around 4. We can use Bellows Breath just to remove the Weaponsmith Apprentice, which is fine, I guess. Also give us some procs towards our next captive audience. Yeah, and we're just not drawing anything. I don't see a world in which we survive the next round.
What good are the war mothers?
We need 4 stuns in order to win. And I don't think that's going to happen.
Forged turtle. I've been looking for that for centuries.
They'll just toss this Thermogenic Being, get 9 hit points. It's another proc towards the captive audience. Like I said, it's not going to be enough. He only has 1 card in hand. We don't even know if it's playable for him, so he might just choose to open attack. Oh, we can't do anything even if he doesn't. So we're just gonna take 200 here.
Building a deck, are we? Excellent. I brought nails.
Yeah, let me try it again. Hopefully we get 2 Jhins in hand. I'm gonna keep Yone because we have a Jhin. We needed the stuns last time. Like I said, one of the problems with dealing with Ornn is that since he starts with the 2 free units, he just has so much board presence early, and they will get so much bigger, so much faster. He can fill his board literally on the first round and have like 30 or 40 damage. That's why I wasn't too worried about healing at the healer if we were going to lose, regardless. Like, we got hit for 200, 20 more hit points wasn't going to change anything.
By the forge we create.
We'll get to play our Everos and Marksman here. This will not really do much, but it'll give us a blocker. We're gonna lose Teemo as well.
Gotcha.
Right to work.
We're gonna block Teemo into the Weaponsmith Apprentice, and the Everos and Marksman into the other Weaponsmith Apprentice. That way we'll have the opportunity to remove at least one of the units off the board. Which I think we'll take now before it gets forged. Next round we're going to play Jhin, the following round we're going to play Yone.
I will showcase the beauty of tragedy. I will give them a show to remember.
If he does have fish fight again, we're dead.
1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2.
No breaks until the forge is home, Misty.
I'm stoking. I'm stoking.
We're going to attack here. It'll get, let us use Deadly Flourish, and then we can stun. It'll kill this Favorite Artisan over here, do a little damage into the Weaponsmith Apprentice, and give us a proc towards our next Captive Audience. The reason why it's not worth just keeping the Captive Audience is because if we don't remove the Favorite Artisan, then we're just going to have to block that anyway. So here he's going to play Ornn. I don't know if he's going to overwrite one thing, or yeah, he'll get rid of his Spirit Forge, or whatever it's called.
I made this hammer. It was so good I named it.
Ornn's Forge,
By my grandfather's anvil. The story.
which will give us the opportunity to use Yone to stun 2 units.
Through my work, you shall transcend. I knew you'd find your mark eventually. As my
And we get lucky and get a third
pedestrian.
stun as well. I think I'm willing to take 11 here.
Humility before power.
I'm not thrilled about it, but I think if we ever get attacked, we die anyway, and that'll give us the opportunity to remove an extra unit from the board.
Is it not?
Let's get it, crew.
So we have Teemo,
Another day in the field.
and we have 2 Boom Crew rookies. We're gonna play all of that.
Abyssal Eye, garlic works in a pinch.
We're gonna attack with the Boom Crew rookies because doing so will give us procs towards the next captive audience. And attack with Teemo, giving Jhin elusive, and hopefully this wins. We're going to keep the Crackshot Corsair because her power is going to go off regardless, and we use it as a blocker next round, assuming that there is a next round, and assuming that that will make any difference. And it doesn't. We cannot block all the damage that we put out here with our elemental winds and Luden's Tempest, Boom Crew rookie attacks. And we make it through. So, our current problem is that we have used our revive and we still have Galio left, but hopefully we can get a little bit stronger before this happens. I'm gonna take Barrier on Jhin. Rally might have been something to consider as well, but it's last breath, so I feel like if we get to the point where we need it, we're gonna die. Take Bouncing Blades here. Still would have preferred mana, but Bouncing Blades will do at least 3 damage, so maybe we can ping him to death. I think the Rekindler gives you a revive token, and that's exciting, but Psy Scout is very strong. The Frostcoat Cub might also be very strong. Not sure the correct path to take here. It's going to be like an eeny, meeny, miny, mo situation. If we get Power Rift, that'll help us get Jhin into play. Does hurt the Riptide Battery, because if he costs less, then you get less plunger procs. So maybe the other way was correct. And keep Yone in hand. We're probably going to need it. We're keeping this Crackshot Corsair because it has draw anyway, so it'll replace itself. I do have free cost Blade's Edge, which we're going to use. We could use it on the Snow Dog here. Probably would have been better, actually, because then we could have removed it the following round. Using Teemo to grant our Crackshot Corsair elusive. I don't know that you can actually stun the Obedient Drakehound. I'm gonna act as if you cannot. I'm gonna stun the Puffcap Pup because it's the strongest unit on the board right now. We're gonna block into the Obedient Drakehound, and we're gonna take just so much damage.
There is no other way. Gotcha in my sights.
We'll take 13 here. There's no point in using these Blade's Edges on the monsters that are going up by like 3 points every round. Since they're all dogs. I'll drop Jhin. We need to be able to stun his entire board next round or we lose. It does use Concerted Strike, which I don't know that I can do anything about. I can remove 1 unit, but I can't remove 2. He does have Barrier though, so if I remove 1, that might be enough. So we'll deal 10 damage to the Obedient Drakehound here.
We must all play our part.
also level Jhin up.
Step into the spotlight, everyone is I have prepared something very special.
Pretty good. We removed a fair amount of his board.
I'll scout ahead.
So an attack here will do 25 damage, which will leave him at 6. We have a Blade's Edge next round, but that's not enough to make the difference. We do have Yone in hand, which we'll probably be able to use. And if we use Yone plus 2 Captive Audience, I don't think we're going to die next round. We might even be able to milk it to the following round so we can play the Thermogenic Beam and get some hit points back. We are also giving them a couple buff caps, and I mean, if we get really lucky, that'll make a difference. If we don't get really lucky, we do have enough damage here to just win the game on the spot. However, I would like to heal with Thermogenic Beam, so I'm going to try to make it through to the next round regardless. And if anything bad happens, we always have the option to just win the game. Like, even if we lose all our units here, we're completely comfortable with that.
Beautiful, is it not?
I'm gonna Blade's Edge. Oh no. So I procced a Lotus Trap and we won the game. That's fine, I guess. It would have been better not to. I knew that was a possibility. I just decided to take the chance. I didn't want to lose the opportunity to win the game. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That was a mistake. Normally I would not take an extra copy of a champion, but Teemo has been supporting Jhin very well. And here, I think Shadow Totem Jhin might be able to add a lot of damage. And hopefully we finally get something we want from the shop. We don't, we get deep cuts. That's fine. We don't take any other cards. We don't want to pollute our deck anymore. We're gonna go for champion item chest, I think. Woolly Snailmoth versus Tinsel Tinker is an interesting question. This says Challenger with Flame Chompers, and I wonder if they could just hit past us and win the game. A Spells chest might have an opportunity to do something to like Captive Audience to make it stronger. If that happened, that would be very good for us. So we're kind of rolling the dice here. I think I'm going to just keep this hand. I want to play Mana Soul Student. It gives us a lot of extra damage. Teemo has been, like I said, great for us. We have the stage hand to block one thing next round. I don't want to block this, but I'm not sure that I have a choice. And it's going to be 5 now or 5 later, right? We do have the free mana to block it because we can play a second Teemo down. I'm going to play Prank. It at least gives us some idea of what's in our opponent's hand. So knowing that it has Caught in the Cold means that we have to be careful on how we play our blockers.
Nothing like the great outdoors.
I mean, we're not going to block this twice, so we take that. And +1 cost to Babbling Beard. This will make it so that he has like one more round to go before he does round start rally. Next round we're already looking at taking 20 damage. He'll probably play a unit. And if he does so, we can respond with the stage hand, stunning his Overwhelm unit.
What we do is so much bigger than us both.
And if he gives us the opportunity, we'll play Puffcap Pup.
There is no other way.
I don't think we can take 18. I think if we do that, we lose the game. So we're probably losing the game. I don't think we can afford to lose Teemo right here either. Hopefully this... I don't know. This won't end up bad on us. This is going to be bigger next time we get hit with it, which is the only reason why I considered not blocking it. Same deal. If we ever get hit, we lose the game. We're going to drop Jhin. Gives us 2 Jhins.
Step into the spotlight. Everyone is waiting.
Eyes blazing bright as torches.
So here the question is, should we use Captive Audience preemptively? I think it can let us remove a couple units because we have 2 Jhins and both of them are going to do 6 damage to stunned units. So for example, if we stun that guy there and we stun this guy here, they'll both die. The only downside is that we're losing 2 captive audiences for next turn, but I mean, we would have used them in the same way anyway, right? So we would have used them to stun those units, the same units, except on attack. So hopefully this will be productive. Interesting thing now is that if we attack, because Babbling Beard has that Last Breath Rally, he'll get to attack us back. I think I'm not worried about that. We can give Elusive to this Jhin here. This guy has Barrier to stay alive, and I think we should have enough damage to win. We would have preferred to use Elusive on our first Jhin, our non-ephemeral Jhin. That way we would have kept the barrier, but we need the damage instead. I also think we're going to preemptively Blade's Edge to... I thought it was going to make him bigger. Oh well. Anyway, this is how we're going to attack. We have to attack with both Jhins so that we get both Curtain Call. That's enough to win. These are all very by the skin of our teeth here. We'll take Mystic Shot. Champion item chest. Obviously we can't afford to get Radiant Armor, so we can take Last Breath Rally on Jhin with the Shadow Totem. We'll be able to guarantee an attack. And as aggressive as I am with removing cards, here we do have to purchase healing. We're at 12 hit points. That's not going to cut it. This Galio's power is that if they round end with 20 or more hit points, they summon a Galio, which means basically every round he's going to summon a Galio. And it's going to level immediately. and we're gonna have to deal with Rally nonstop. He also has 70 hit points. Does start with Shyvana, which, okay. Shyvana Galio is one of the easier versions of Galio from his adventure, so hopefully that won't be too bad for us. We're gonna do some damage into Shyvana.
Never again will we fall to Dragonfire.
Another day in the field. I am more than I see.
You are unlike anything I've ever seen.
Gonna remove the Egghead Researcher, partially to keep the total hit points down, and partially to get our Teemo back.
My nose.
We'll prank him to see what he has in hand. Cost increasing Mobilize is very good for us. We can do 5 damage here. I don't think that's gonna make a significant difference between keeping that for next round or not. I'd prefer it as a stun. We are giving him Ichor, which
Another day guarding the walls.
I don't know, maybe does something. He has 2 challengers, so anything we play he's going to be able to
If we
challenge and kill.
we must
He's also getting his free Galio next round. We don't have the ability to do enough damage to remove that as an option. Here we can spend our Captive Audience and a Blade's Edge to kill this Dragonbird Lieutenant. He's going to do 1 damage to Teemo, but we have enough damage because of Elemental Wind to remove him from the board. This might actually be a saving grace for us here. It'll delay his Galio by 1 round.
They are nothing.
And the attacks with Shyvana, which we'll also be able to remove. But yeah, he just played every card wrong, which is great for us. I think if I do nothing, he's forced to play a card. So like Catagrin, the Ruin seems most obvious. He might also have Galio in hand. However, if I pass and he decides to do nothing, then we automatically lose the game. So we're going to use this Blade's Edge to pass. And then he does play a card. We respond by playing Jhin. We would have liked to have Teemo here still. If we had Teemo, we could take a better attack.
I hear it now. The thunderous applause.
This won't be a disaster anyway, though, so yeah, we're doing pretty good. We'll be able to get rid of Catagrin. We got a couple captive audiences in hand. Should we desire, we can play Jhin's Dancing Grenade. We may. Almost never play that card, but right now it's doing 6 damage, which is a lot. I don't think we need to. We're going to use Captive Audience on the 2 remaining units. Jhin's already leveled. This attack will kill apparently the enemy Nexus, which I didn't think was going to happen, but it was going to kill all of their units. Additionally, when this Ephemeral Jhin died, we would have got to a rally with our first Jhin and get another attack in. So yeah, overall that went about as perfectly as we could imagine.
The denouement.
Hooray. So yeah, that adventure was fairly difficult the whole way through. There were a lot of points where I was afraid that we were going to lose, but, you know, we made it through. Take my screenshot here. And yeah, that's it. Let's see what we get from our Silver Star vessel. We get some Brilliard Star Crystals. I don't know if that does anything for us. Anyway, that is all for now. I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching, like, and subscribe.